Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 22 of Pursuing Your Personal Pentecost. We are here in chapter 22 today, and I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday. I don't think I did at the closing of 21. Paul did get arrested. He was arrested in Jerusalem. They're wanting to tear him to pieces, as usual. He's getting a lot of persecution. But as they're about to take him into the barracks, Paul asked the guards, he said, "Can I address the people?" And he addressed the people in their own language, in Hebrew, speaking to them. And one of the big reasons he did this was to share with them that he's one of them. He's where they've been. These people are Jewish, and their religion has got them all wound up. They're sorry, spider attacking me there. Their religion's got them all wound up, because Paul's doing something a little different than what they're used to. And so, what Paul does when he gets permission from the guards to speak to these people, he shares his testimony. He tells them about his road to Damascus encounter when the Lord showed up and this great light came upon him, and he fell off of his horse and had to be led. He was blinded and had to be led into Damascus. And basically what he was telling these people is like, there was this old part of me that persecuted Christians and, was killing Christians, but that guy's dead. And I've seen the light, literally, because this great light. It was this great light that knocked him off of his horse. But he shares his testimony with these people, and the people are relating to him. The angry mob quiets down, and so it looks like things, are kind of turning in his favor, so to speak. But then at the very end of that, let's see here. At the very end of his testimony, he says, "But the Lord spoke to me and said, 'Depart, for I will send you far from here to the Gentiles.'" And this is where he lost them. Once again, their religious beliefs couldn't allow their minds to fathom the fact that the Gentiles were going to receive something that, only they should have. And so then the things kind of started getting heated again. But I really think the lesson in chapter 22 for us is the importance of our testimony. You may not think you have a great testimony, but if you're born again, you do. If you're born again, you have a story that tells where you were and to where you are now. And yours may be different from mine. I had an amazing testimony. Part of my testimony is that I was prophesied that I'd ride a champion, and that champion came to pass in the movie Secretariat. And it's a powerful testimony, but that doesn't mean that because you didn't get a prophecy about a champion or land in a movie that your testimony is any less important. We overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. It's what we speak that compels people to come to Christ. And you never know what it is in your testimony that's going to speak to somebody. I'm blown away the thousands of times that I've shared my testimony, whether it be one-on-one or in front of hundreds, that different pieces and different parts of my testimony speak to different people. And they'll hear one little thing and they'll grab a hold of that, and that'll be all that'll mean everything to them, where to me it might not have been a big deal. But you never know what part of your testimony is going to speak to somebody. We all have good and bad parts to our testimonies. I had some things in my life that I wasn't proud of. I had a lot of idols, sports, fishing, hunting, things like that. That I had to get in check, put them in their right perspective. I had a lot of pride. I still deal with pride to this day. It keeps me from being the witness that I want to be. But nevertheless, your testimony matters, and every chance you get to share what God's done in your life with somebody, you should share it, whether they're a believer or non-believer. Sharing testimonies isn't just for non-believers. There's a lot of believers that I've been able to encourage over the years that saw something in my testimony that maybe God had been working on them about, but they had been ignoring it, and they didn't really realize they'd been ignoring it. And then once I share my testimony, they're like, man, God's been trying to deal with me on that. I need to address that thing. And so you just never know. So that's my message today, is to encourage you to share your testimony. No matter who it is, be willing and ready at all times to tell everybody what God's done in your life. And that's all I got for today, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 23.